music a minute ago. This year sounds familiar.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna start.
Welcome to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. We are here to podcast about anything and everything Star Wars with you. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansson.us. And now, it's time to talk Star Wars.
Yay, Star Wars.
I am Kyle John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say hello.
Not really Andrew. That's more Rick over there. Andrew's incognito. So we're gonna go with Rick. And Rick's gonna have all kinds of fun. So even though Scott would normally ask me, what was that you were drinking? It's just a energy drink. The thing about it is you can't really see it there, but right up there at the top, wait a second. The light's hitting it funny. Arr. There you go. 350 milligrams of caffeine.
Woo!
So a normal cup of coffee is about 65 milligrams.
Yeah.
If it's a stronger kind, it might be 80 or 90.
Is that for the whole can, or is that per serving?
The entire can. One can is one serving. 15 calories, 0 sugar. What else is?
I'm drinking the blue raspberry. Can't see it.
There you go. If it's clear, it should be raspberry color. It's got 1,000 micromilligrams of vitamin B12.
Woo! B12.
B12 is supposed to give you energy.
I'm giving my vitamin D. See, it's shining off right now. Look at that shine.
Yes. It's disappearing.
I think that was a Twilight movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm giving something away.
All right. So today we're reviewing Star Wars Ahsoka Part 5 called Shadow Warrior. So we're going to go through the cast and everything first, and then kind of go for a recap review, and then we'll discuss it. And I do have a small amount of feedback. We're going to touch on it briefly while I'm reading this stuff at the beginning, and then we'll read the whole thing later. And it was an email. I don't know if you saw it. I think I actually got a notification from Twitter that I got an email, that I got a private message, and it might have come through to you too. I don't know. But anyway, we got that, and then I was going to go over some of the numbers on how much people have been watching us suddenly. So that'll be the whole thing here.
Woo!
So first off, so we don't forget, danger. That means spoiler alert. That's what that's for. We would have said that eventually, but it's too long of a clip, so I'll cut it off. But spoiler alert, we're going to talk about the episode in very big detail, so go watch it before you listen to us. Same with all of our podcasts. Stop.
You haven't
Danger.
watched it. Stop. Danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
So that clip, I don't know if I've talked to you about that one before, but that one is actually a recording from a prison systems alert system. So like with the If there's a jailbreak or something, that's the sound that comes off.
How'd you get that record?
Well, it's just a general recording. Somebody recorded it and put it on the internet.
Devices when you were incarcerated.
Yeah. There's a couple other things I added to it too, but that is the base of it is that recording. It's basically almost. I would say most of the federal prisons have that klaxon sound.
Thought you weren't ever going to share that story.
Yeah, never sharing it. So today, the episode was directed by David Filoni and written by David Filoni, which I mentioned to you guys that I think every time he does both of those, it seems to be quite a good episode.
Yep.
This episode was pretty good, I thought. It was edited by Rosanne Tan, and of course, the music was scored by Kevin Kinner. So part of the feedback I got was that I'm very bad at reading names correctly, and I'll just say that there's a reason for that. We'll discuss it later, but I'm going to try to read these better because of the feedback we got. So Ahsoka Tano is Rosario Dawson. Oh, look, we're getting another person joining. He's coming in late. Sabine Wren is Natasha Bordizzo, something like that. Hera Syndulla is Mary Elisabeth Winstead. Valen Skull is Ray Stevenson. There's Scott. Shin Hati is Ivana Sakino. Morgan Elisabeth. That's one of them they complain about. Elisabeth is played by it's spelled Lesabeth. So it looks almost just exactly like it, but there's a couple of vowels missing somewhere. Elisabeth is played by Deanna Lee Inosanto. Here's the other one, Professor Huyang. I always say Hanoi. I don't know why, but it's Huyang. It's played by David Tennant. Hey Scott, what's up?
Here.
It's very dark in there.
Mm-hmm.
Jacen Syndulla is played by Evan Whitten. We don't want to know what he's doing in the dark. No, oh my gosh. Captain Girard is played by Lisa Davis. Captain Carson Teva is played by Paul Sun-Hyung Lee. Mon Mothma was briefly in there as a little video chat thing, the Zoom call, I guess. Let's say she was played by Genevieve O'Reilly. All the clone troopers and Commander Cody were played by Timra Morrison. Our Boba Fett guy.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Genevieve is played by Cha Numava. I don't know how to say that one either. Lieutenant Lander, Brendan Wayne. Anakin Skywalker. Hayden Christensen. They brought in the big guys this time, didn't they? Young Ahsoka was played by Adriana Greenblatt. The weapons officer is Gina Vittori. Comms officer is Anthony Latorel. That's a weird spelling there. So that's our cast. So I'm gonna take a drink and we're gonna listen to this big commercial.
Hey, what about Rex?
Over there. Are you a trooper? Is your armor always dirty? When do you find time to clean?
It was Commander Cody. Rex wasn't in there.
Okay.
I'm just getting it from what they listed on the end of the show.
Okay, I'll go with that. I don't think that's right, but okay. I think Rex had a brief cameo there, but I could be wrong.
Could be. We'll talk about it.
Hey, you over there. Are you a trooper? Is your armor always dirty? When do you find time to clean it? Did rebel scum scratch and damage it? Did your helmet communications keep acting up? Stop by Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium. Before 1500 hours, we will wash, clean, and sanitize your armor for the next day pickup.
our patented galactically ancient secret cleaning techniques will have your armor sparkling just like a new Cerealian Y1300 freighter just off the assembly line. You will be the envy of all your friends and coworkers, from the castles on Lothal to the politicians on Coruscant to the environmentalists on Endor. For your next day's service, stop by Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium. We are located in Tatooine's Mos Eisley Spaceport, directly across from Hangar 35. We will also repair and sell most parts at the best rates in the known galaxy. All services guaranteed and licensed by the Emperor himself to last a lifetime. Only at Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium.
Things that got to be legit, right?
Except Imperial credits only. Helmets and boots or services are extra.
Well, it's double A Aaron, so it's not triple A. Sorry.
No, it's just A wrong. There's no double A.
No, it's A Aaron. It's double A. They didn't qualify for the triple A discount.
That's what Scott keeps saying too, but I said it was even lower. It's just an A wrong.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought we were selling quality products.
Hey, you over there. Are you a trooper? Is your armor always dirty? When do you find time to clean it? Did Rebel Scum scratch and damage it?
I don't have
helmet communications keep acting up? Stop by Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium.
Yeah, it's just a single A. Man.
Scott really wanted it to have two A's in it too, but
the economy really is hitting places, isn't it?
Well, we're talking about the Empire, so you know.
Oh, true.
Everything's steal it or sell it cheap.
Times are tough.
Right. That's right. So again, today, to get Scott up, we're talking about Ahsoka Part 5, Shadow Warrior. It originally aired on September 12th. And I didn't put the minutes on here, but it was like 45 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, it was long.
It was close to 45 minutes. We're still in the same timeline, which is 9 before the battle or after the Battle of Yavin, sorry. So 9 years after the first Death Star exploded. So that means, Scott, it's time to grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, and join us in the Rebel Alliance briefing room. Yay. All right, so we start off our episode. We see charred fragments of the star map, that little globe that Balin's skull destroyed with his lightsaber. And the ghost lands behind the little, I don't know, ceremonial glyph thing going on there. And the planet's called Stepco, so it's it's something about a reflex point, but I don't think that describes it very well. Hera Syndulla walks out towards the ramp with her blaster, you know, making sure there's nobody gonna get him. And after she determines it's safe, she tells her son Jacen he can exit the ghost and warns him to keep close to the chopper so that Chopper can help protect him. You know, since they aren't very familiar with the planet. When suddenly the general hears something in the distance and gestures for her son to get behind Chopper. Hera investigates the noise, and it's Huyang standing behind a pair of rocks, overlooking the ocean, holding the helmet of Sabine Wren. Huyang somberly recalls that he told Wren and Tano to stay together, but they never listen. These kids never listen anymore, right, Scott? Never listen.
Scott.
Okay.
What?
Sleep. Oh, I was looking for a response. He's sleeping. Okay.
I snickered.
Oh, no comments though?
No, the only kids that don't listen to Kyle, the host, is his dogs.
I'm not sure how to take that. Anyway, moving on.
Those are your kids.
They listen to me.
Catch up, baby tomato.
All right, so we're the next scene, we're in the world between worlds. Ahsoka is greeted by the spirit of Anakin Skywalker, marking that she still looks the same. She remarks that he still looks the same, and Skywalker responds that she's grown old. He can't accept a compliment, so he has to degrade her a little bit there. When Tano asks why she has come to the world between worlds, Skywalker reminds Tano that she has lost her fight with Baylan Skoll and tells her that he's there to finish her training. While Tano states her belief that it's too late for Skywalker to teach her anything, he asserts that he's the one that is never old, that no one is never old enough to learn anything. When Tano asks what her lesson will be, Skywalker ignites his lightsaber and attacks Tano, telling her that it is time to live or die. He's gonna kill her. When Tano tells her old master that she will not fight him, Skywalker says that he has heard that before, which is a callback to when she fought Darth Vader, and she realized that Darth Vader was Anakin, and she said, "I'm not going to fight you anymore." I think that was in. I think that was in Rebels.
Obi-Wan said the same thing, though.
True, very true. They've said it multiple times throughout the whole thing. She's not going to fight, and he's heard that before. As Skywalker continues the assault, Tano ignites her lightsaber and defends herself. Zoom, 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 zoom. Right. Back at the hinge, like Stonehenge. That's the way I prefer to call it, is the Stonehenge. General Syndulla searches for signs of Tano and Wren, while Huyang inspects two fragments from the star map, the round thing. Huyang states that the map is beyond repair and they cannot know where the enemy is heading from the map. Syndulla asserts that they will get answers when they find Tano and Wren, but Huyang believes they are on the Eye of Sion with Morgan Elisabeth. You have to say it with a lisp. Elisabeth and her forces. Carson Teva joins and asks what the command, tells her that the command of Senator Organa, which, it's a brief reference to Leia Organa, can't keep them from covering, and adds that people will ask questions if they stay there any longer. Syndulla, however, maintains that they won't leave until she knows what's happened to Tano and Wren. So, the captain is like, "Hey, we're running out of time, man. There's not very much fuel. We got to get out here before we get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm a captain, man." So
my job.
That's right. He doesn't know what else to do.
During
the go ahead.
She said, "I'm a general, and I'll just, what are they going to fire me?"
That's right. That's right. She does say that.
First.
During the conversation, Jacen tries to tell his mother that there's something unusual about the water. She doesn't notice anything initially, but her son claims to hear sounds of a battle involving lightsabers. Like, what? Sounds like water. Slowly, as Syndulla closes her eyes, she comes to hear them. I guess probably after doing a tiny bit of meditation too, it looked like. She closed her eyes and was like, and then all of a sudden, I hear it. Hera tells Teva that to get his squadron airborne, and that she needs a full sweep of the ocean at low altitude. General Syndulla tells Huyang to come with her inside the Ghost, while Jacen and Chopper stay at the hinge. When Teva asks what's going on, Huyang informs Teva that Jacen has abilities because his father, Kanan Jarrus, was a Jedi. We all remember Kanan through the Rebels. He used to be someone else before the Purge. You remember who he used to be, Scott? I forget what his name is.
No,
Caleb. Caleb, that's what it was.
I just know he didn't like
was-
showing his Jedi skills.
Right, because he was afraid somebody was going to see him. Yeah, it was Caleb. It was Caleb Doom. Remember, Scott? Yeah, he had the dreams with the wolves or whatever, and they kept on saying Doom, Doom.
Wolves would show up. Where we
Anyway, Rick has no idea what we're talking about. As Tano and Skywalker continue their duel in the Worlds Between Worlds, Tano holds her own and suggests that perhaps her master doesn't have anything left to offer her. Skywalker smiles, saying that he hasn't taught her everything, before slicing into the platform underneath and sends her falling into the depths below. Doo-doo-doo. And then it's turned into fog or something. And she lands on her face, I think. Tano awakens as a younger version of herself in a location obscured by fog. And as a clone trooper in Phase 1 armor, and many of the 501st Legion run by her, she is greeted by Skywalker, now wearing armor and appearing as he did when she first met him. He confirms that they are witnessing the battle from the Clone Wars. Tano doesn't understand why they would be experiencing this, which is one of her first missions. Skywalker says that is the problem, as his master heads farther into battle. What?
That is the problem.
That is the problem. She doesn't see past it. Tano ignites her original green lightsaber and follows him for answers. So a lot of people on the internet have been saying that they're excited about these scenes because this is the first time that the Clone Wars have been in live action. It's always been in the cartoons. But
yeah,
I think
so
we
I have
did.
a question about that. You guys might be able to tell me, because her lightsaber was a different color. So what's the reason or rationale for that? Or is that something you want to hold on to?
No,
Different crystal.
I could tell you. So yes, it's different crystal. But what happened was Tano had originally had one lightsaber, of course.
Yeah.
And when one of the times that she was mad about, she was always talking about in this show about how she didn't want to fight and all this stuff. She turned her lightsaber into the Jedi Council and said she was going to quit.
Okay.
And that's why we see her further on in the show where she's it looks like she's fighting some Mandalorians, and Anakin comes in and says, "I don't remember this battle," and that's because it was the purge of Mandalore,
Yeah.
which we talked about. And during that time, she was on her own without him, and sometime before she finally officially left, he returned that lightsaber, and so she had one, and she had the one he gave her, and she changed the colors on the stones.
Okay.
So we've talked about before where they bleed the stones, especially
Orange or
yeah. You can pick a stone with the color green, right? Because that's what you prophecy or whatever get. You can pick a stone that's blue or whatever, but you can also change it, but you're limited to changing. Okay. You can usually change it.
doesn't your first stone originally the original stone picks you?
Right. It's tailored to your personality or whatever.
Gotcha.
It's supposed to be a religious experience.
Okay.
That's how much I believe about religion. Anyway, so you can bleed the stone, and what they call it is they say it's a physical squeezing of the stone until it changes colors. And you have to meditate while you're doing it or whatever, because it won't just change by you squeezing it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to meditate it and, I need the force to do it and all this stuff. That's why Balin Skull's and Shin's lightsabers are orange and not red, because they didn't bleed them all the way. Because they didn't believe that, they probably don't believe that they're actually Sith.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
So they didn't bleed them all the way.
Well, and she's got two. I
think
wonder.
that's it.
And a non-Sith, a regular Jedi, they have the ability also to bleed the stone white or close to white color, whatever that color is. And that's what she did is the one lightsaber she had was a Sith lightsaber, and she bled the red to white, and then she wanted the other one to match, so she bled the green to white too.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why she's got the two white ones now. But anyway, that's all done. That we hear a lot of that in Clone Wars, and it continues later on in Rebels and stuff. But Clone Wars, most of it happened. She the last season or two of Clone Wars, she's not with the Jedi Order, I believe. Anyway, that's way far away, but that's why it's green. It's because that's what her original was.
Gotcha.
And I probably she bled him white, for the reason that she didn't think that she was a true Jedi anymore. She didn't believe in their cause because they were more militant and they were supposed to be peacekeepers. So she made them white for that reason.
Gotcha.
Doesn't that make sense to you, Scott?
Yes, just peaceful.
Exactly. All right. So green lightsabers. During a lull in the fight, Tano finds herself standing in an encasement with many injured clones. This is probably where you thought you saw Rex. The clone on the stretcher has a bandage over his head, and Tano rests her hand on the trooper, who reaches with his own hand. And Skywalker finds her and warns her that more separatist battle droids are approaching. Tano, however, still somber amidst the carnage, contemplates how they lost so many under her orders specifically. Skywalker offers masterly insight, and he reminds her that they are at a war and that it is a Jedi's job to lead, but affirms that mistakes and losses weigh heavy on him too. Skywalker explains how he must teach his Padawan to be a soldier despite his upbringing as a keeper of the peace. Tano wonders if fighting is the only thing she will have to teach her own Padawan one day in the future. But Skywalker pushes that fighting is how one survives. As explosions appear in the distance, Tano muses that she may want to stop fighting, which Skywalker says will mean that she will die. As Skywalker advances once more into battle, his appearance flashes between his Jedi self and his Sith identity of Darth Vader. Go ahead.
And that's where we see Rex turn and say, "Good job, Commander," and then he turns and runs towards Anakin.
And he had the blue.
Yes.
He had the blue on his thing. Rex was not blue.
Oh, okay. So that was Cody.
Cody is blue.
What's Rex? I thought he was blue.
I'll see if I can find some more. Well, Cody was the captain, Captain Cody. And
Okay.
Rex was just a regular one. I think they were still under the same blue, maybe. I don't have a Cody because that's the Cody is the one that's like $400 probably.
Yeah. Okay.
But I might have
I
a
can
Rex
afford it.
around.
That's when I
No.
guess I
Okay.
mistook the two because I thought that was Rex, so it was Captain Cody then.
Yeah,
Because
we
it's
don't see-
really Like he just runs by her, then he turns around, says something, and then he turns and takes off. So that was Captain Cody at that point. Then okay, my bad.
Yeah.
right.
Cody was always with Anakin.
Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman. That's what you look like there with the beard and stuff.
Captain
Hey.
Cody.
Don't
That's like yes.
me and Rick look alike. Leave us alone.
Yeah, I don't know about.
Billy goats. Yeah.
The Cody was always with
The
with Anakin, and Rex was with Obi-Wan Kenobi,
okay.
or
My
one or the other, one of the other ways around.
I
Either
mean,
that way or the other way. I don't know. But it definitely said in the credits that it was Commander Cody. So I had my doubts. I had my doubts too until I saw it in the credits.
Okay.
So yeah, so we see him flash between Darth Vader and Anakin, and that's kind of foreshadowing too. We basically saying that this is around the time that Anakin started to doubt himself and want more power, and he's paying more attention to Sidious or Sidious, the Chancellor.
Yep.
And then we go back to the planet as Jacen and Chopper stay on the hinge. Teva's X-Wing squad, along with General Syndulla and Huyang, aboard the Ghost, continued their search for Tano and Wren. Despite Teva's suggestion that they may be depleted in fuel reserves, Syndulla orders an extension of their sweep. As Hera reveals the unauthorized nature of their mission to Huyang, she ponders if she is truly chasing ghosts. But Huyang assures her that her caring and steadfast nature is why people like her, which is a weird comment from a droid. Why would a droid find out why people like whatever?
He has a feelings chip.
Yeah,
I say that.
No,
his feeling, his feelings.
That's the wrong show.
I don't care.
I do. Huyang.
You're asking a question. I'm giving you an answer.
Good. Huyang also asserts that there's still a chance they will find them, given Tano's tenacious nature.
Tenacious D.
Exactly. When Huyang mentions Tano's master, Syndulla asks what he was like. With Huyang responding that he was intense. Basically, just like that. He's
Dramatic.
Intense.
Dramatic pause.
Suddenly, Jacen calls the Ghost, saying Chopper has picked up something on his scanner, and the Ghost will need to fly very low and to the water to find it. Very, very, very low.
Very low.
Basically, like we saw in Rebels when they had to land, that landing pad that they had to land on. They had to get so low before it would rise up out of the water.
Yeah,
it was a trigger switch thing.
Secret
not
entrance.
really. Exactly. Secret entrance to the
right.
Exactly. You're getting it, man. You've been watching again, haven't you? All right. So back in the Tano World Between Worlds, she continues to receive her lesson and relive the past. She is now at the Battle of Mandalore with super commandos at the Siege of Mandalore, and we see that guy with the horns and stuff and all that. Those are Death Watch people. That's what the horns signifies, is the Death Watch group. Alongside the troopers of the 332nd Company. I don't know how people keep track of. I know the 501st was the one that only followed Anakin, because that's also the one that went into the temple when he slaughtered
Killed the younglings.
Yeah, that's I said that quite. But Clone Commander Rex spots Tano and compliments her for work before she charges forward. It was just at a different spot.
Okay,
It was
maybe
during the
thinking about because he like turns, says something, and then it's like just a flash. So I wasn't crazy. So I was just in the wrong spot.
we were in the wrong spot. Clone
Ah,
Commander Rex spots Tano and compliments her on her work before charging forward. Tano pauses, surveying the battle as Skywalker approaches her, saying that he does not recognize this battle currently unfolding. And Tano informs him that it's the siege of Mandalore, which occurred after the two had parted ways. And Skywalker, I did, but that was when I was explaining something else. Skywalker proudly affirms that Tano did well, though Skywalker explains that Tano has a culmination of Skywalker's knowledge and the legacy of masters before him. Tano believes that her part of that legacy is one of death and war. And Skywalker asserts that both he and Tano are more than that. But Tano recalls how Anakin was more powerful and more dangerous than anyone could have realized at the moment of his fall. Skywalker says that Tano has learned nothing and gets mad because she brings up that turn of character there where he turns into Darth Vader.
So from now on, since they redid the movies and all that, since like when Darth Vader died, he'll show up as Anakin, though, right?
Yeah, he already does when they
good, little bit good back in them, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. If you go look at Return of the Jedi, and if you see the latest version of it, because we all know George Lucas went in and changed stuff. If you look at the latest version that he changed, Anakin shows up as a Force ghost in there. So, because apparently the Force ghost thing is a Jedi thing, not a Sith thing. We don't know that for sure, but every Force ghost we've seen has been a Jedi, not a Sith, right? So that's the standard belief is that everybody only the only the Jedi know how to do it.
Can't show him it's a different spot.
That's right.
That's why it's
bad. More than they can realize. At this moment, Tano has learned nothing and reminds her of her choice he gave her to live or die. Skywalker ignites his lightsaber again, but this time it's red. And he has yellow. He has yellow and red eyes.
Because he's mad.
He's turned to the Sith side. Oh, sorry. Tano once again attempts to refuse a fight, but Skywalker presses on, and the two dual vigorously. Ahsoka with both of her lightsabers this time. And I always thought because of the extra training that she got that she was probably better than Anakin anyway. So that's
Chris. I'll fight you with my right hand. I'll fight you with my left hand. I'll fight you with both. I'll fight you with neither.
Yeah. This is when Skywalker gets frustrated and kicks Tano back into the darkness of the world between worlds. And his form shifts back and forth between the helmeted Sith persona and the Anakin persona. We see in the background there's a little lightning, and every time the lightning, we see him change. Enraged by Tano's lack of conviction, Skywalker battles Tano down with a strike after strike, claiming that it is time for her to die. Da, da, da. Tano outmaneuvers Skywalker and takes his lightsaber. Ooh, turn of fate there, holding it to his neck. I'm gonna cut your throat.
Who's the master now?
Yeah. Holding it to his neck. However, she drops the lightsaber into the void, saying that she chooses to live. Satisfied. With a evil smile still. Skywalker smiles. Then he bows his head and concentrates for a moment so his eyes go back to normal. Normal state. And that he says that there's hope for her yet. As the world between world begins to rumble, Skywalker disappears, and it looks like it's like raining or something or whatever, and then it starts to fill up with water and envelops Tano, and she closes her eyes if the water covers her all the way. She doesn't even gargle, she just accepts it. At night, Tano is pulled from the waters by the New Republic Lieutenant Genesu and pulled aboard the Ghost as she whispers her master's name. Anakin. I love you, Anakin. When Tano reawakens aboard the ship, one rotation later, she reunites with Huyang, and the droid catches her up to speed.
That looked like Titanic. Jack.
And she was kind of on a plank too, wasn't she?
Yeah.
The loading ramp.
Yep.
The droid catches her up to speed, telling her that she may have been lost for good if not for the efforts of Jacen Syndulla, and that Sabine was not with them. So Sabine's gone, and Jacen, he's got some weird power that helped find her. Tano emerges from the Ghost to thank Jacen, who is whisked away by Hanu to explore Tano's T6 shuttle. He entices him with the training room, right? Oh, you have a training room? Are you going to teach me how to train? No.
Yes.
Are you gonna let me tour the ship? No. So that Tano and Hera can talk in private. Syndulla inquires where Wren is, leading Tano to attempt to read the broken map for an impression of what happens. And she goes into a trance and tries to pull in the last moments that happened with the thing before. And she hears Wren kind of basically give in or whatever and give him back the thing and destroy it and all that stuff. After experiencing these echoes and conversations, Tano discovers that Wren has joined Elisabeth forces aboard the Eye of Sion and willingly and alive. So she volunteered to get on the ship so she wouldn't be killed, basically. But she volunteered, and she's still alive. Teva arrives to inform Syndulla that the New Republic fleet is en route to Sieto. Uh-oh. They're in trouble. As Syndulla and Tano part ways, Tano gazes up at the sky to view a pod of Pergoli. Because they didn't say right before that, they have no idea how they're going to find Ezra now. And then suddenly she looks up. What are those?
The whale.
Why didn't she take both pieces and hold them together and have that vision?
Good question.
She only used half.
It's because that's all she needed. I don't know. Maybe both pieces, it would have been a stronger vision, right?
Exactly. She just only used the good half. If she'd used the bad half, maybe they would have been able to figure it out.
Maybe.
Must have been a slow ride.
She could have seen the map and everything, right?
See?
So aboard the Ghost, Syndulla and Teva meet with Senator Mon Mothma via hologram on Skype, who informs them that without evidence of Imperial remnant activity or Grand Admiral Thrawn's return, there's little she can do to help them in front of the Senate committee. Furthermore, Mothma reveals that Syndulla and Tano are ordered to return to Coruscant so they can be ridiculed and stripped of their rank and all kinds of stupid stuff that senates do. Oversight committees will determine if Syndulla's command will be permanently disbanded. Despite the bleak situation, Tano rejoins them, claiming that she knows how to find Wren. I know. I got an idea. I saw the thingies. I know.
I can see clearly now.
With a new plan in place, Tano's ship, the Ghost and Teva squad ascend into the Seto sky. Syndulla asks Tano if the Purgili...
Say that 5 times fast.
Exactly. Know if the Purgili know the hyperspace coordinates that will lead them to Wren. When Tano replies that there was only one way to find out, by asking him, of course. A larger Purgili is spotted among the pod, and Tano, now dressed in white, which they think symbolizes that she's figured out she's learned something.
She's cleansed herself.
She's cleansed.
By the way, that pillow that she finds isn't just larger. That thing's bigger than all the other ones put together.
It's huge, yeah. Which I think we're supposed to assume that the bigger they are, the older they are. So maybe they know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're supposed to get from that. She's spotted amongst the pod and is now dressed in white, walks onto the hull of the shuttle to commune with the giant creature. Teva informs Syndulla that the New Republic fleet has arrived to the planet, and Syndulla warns them not to approach, as they will frighten the Purgila. Outside the Seto atmosphere, Teva converses with New Republic Captain Girard, doing the best he can to stall her from the approaching planet. He pulls a that was in Solo or something, where they're like, who are you calling?
Wait, I can't.
Hello?
Yeah.
Who is this? Can you give me your code? I don't believe you.
Verify.
I'm sorry.
Girard gets upset and tells her forces to activate the tractor beam, and then Teva gives in and gives her Tano's plan, but says, "I don't think you're gonna believe me." Something like that, right?
Yep.
I don't think you're gonna believe what I'm gonna say. I'll tell you, but I don't think you're gonna believe it.
That guy folded like a chair at a wrestling match.
Over the back of somebody's head. Back on Seattle, Jacen and his mother ask Tano if she is going to try to talk to the Purgila, and he reminisces about the stories Hera told her and how the Purgila took Ezra Bridger and the Imperial forces. So Jacen and Hera are talking about Tano, so that confused me for a second there. But yeah, so they're talking, and she talks about how back in Rebels, they saved the whales saved them, but also took Ezra and Thrawn away from them. Asking the Purgila will take them to Bridger. Hera tells him that that is her hope, as Tano's out there, I don't know what, with her hand. I'm reaching out. Talk to me. Tano reaches her hand out to communicate through the Force. The enormous Purgila opens its mouth, and it's got little fin teeth, or whatever you want to call those things.
Teeth that are filters,
which is funny because, yeah, like Scott said, in nature they filter the plankton and stuff like that out, right?
Yep.
So why would they need that in space? Space is a vacuum, and there's nothing there.
All the asteroids and meteorites.
Yeah, maybe.
That's how they
had to make it. They had to make it. If they're going to call them whales or whatever, they're going to have to make it. You know,
those things fly through those and it flosses between.
Yep. The enormous Purgila opens his mouth, and Tano orders Huyang to move the ship inside. Um, Huyang is like, what? What? Are you sure?
I don't know about this.
Once inside the pergola, Huyang asked Tano if she was certain that the pergola would take them to Wren, to which Tano wistfully responds that she has no idea. I don't know. I have no idea if I got through to them or not. Happily acknowledging
That's the only way that they're going to get to that new galaxy,
exactly. That's the only way.
right? Because the Pergola are the only way to get there. They
Unless
can't
they build
follow
it,
them, so they had
unless
the
they
right
build a
side
ship of their own.
Huh.
That'll take too long, right? Happily acknowledging that the pergola could take them anywhere. I don't know where they're going to take me, but hopefully they're going to take me to the right spot. I don't know.
Just go along for the ride.
It's better than nowhere. The pergola emerged from the Sieto atmosphere and fly between Girard's ships, preparing to jump to hyperspace. Just a second, and I'll say this, but so Tano apologizes to Syndulla that she couldn't make the trip. That Syndulla can make the trip, but Syndulla assures her that it's all right, as her son is too young to travel between galaxies. Which that's stupid, but with newfound sense and purpose, yeah, with newfound sense of purpose and promise that she will find Wren and Bridger. Tano, along with Huyang and the pergola, jump into hyperspace. Pshum, 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 pshum. Anyway, the reason I was giggling is because it looked like their assholes was what was the engine or whatever flying starting up, because it had strands basically going to the center from their whatever you call those tentacles. So they opened up their tentacles like they were gonna take a big dump, and pshum, they're out into hyperspace. I just thought it was hugely funny.
Yeah,
maybe they had not chili the night before.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think about the episode? Pretty good episode. Yeah, Hera did say that to Tano, didn't she?
Yes.
It was a transitionary episode, like I kind of figured it would be.
Directed by Dave Filoni. Written by Dave Filoni.
It was pretty good, I thought. I mean, there was a lot of lightsaber play in there, which is,
yeah,
the fandom likes that. I like it a little bit too. It's fun, but you could see the choreography being repeated over and over again. It's like they shot the scene once and they cut it and repeated it 5 times from just one scene.
Tying a lot of stuff in, though. I mean, they took some stuff from Clone Wars, they took some stuff from the other stuff, and now it's kind of like putting it all together instead of it out here. Like, there's this, there's this, there's this. Now it's like coming together. The big picture becoming a little bit more in focus.
Except all the diehards keep saying that. How come Ahsoka wasn't in the original movies then? And that's fine, but she was never thought of before then. That's why.
Yeah.
George Lucas didn't come up with her before then. Because whether you believe it or not, George Lucas did come up with Ahsoka Tano as a character. He suggested it to Filoni and those guys when they were making the Clone Wars animated show. Actually, when they made the movie, that was when it was suggested. She was introduced in the movie, the Clone Wars movie, which is separate from the Attack of the Clones. Anyway, so that's the entire episode. I thought it was pretty good, and it was slow in a few spots. I think they could have sped up a few things, but there was a lot of maybe.
But the question is Ezra alive?
We don't know. He could be dead. We don't know.
Alive. Is he hanging with what's his name?
He's supposed to be, because they left together, right? So back in Rebels they left together.
Yeah.
I think we find an episode coming up.
Yeah, either So what?
The
That's
very-
5. That means we have 3 left, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Ends or the second half of this next episode, we find them.
Yeah, I think this next episode, they're gonna end up somewhere and try to figure out where they're at or something like that, and maybe scan long distance scanners and say, "Oh, there's something big out there that we need to go investigate," and it ends up being because Thrawn had his big ship, his big cruiser, the big triangle thingy when they left, so that's gonna be pretty big for them to see. Probably as big as that pergola, that big huge pergola. Those things were. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen is some of that. I still don't think we're gonna see Ezra. We might see him, like in flashbacks or something. We might see a little bit of Wren and you know, uh Elisabeth too. But I don't think we're gonna see anything with Thrawn. I just think they're gonna wait to the last minute to show us Thrawn. I still do.
I think he's going to show up at
Of
the
course, which reason Spawn won't be around till the second season.
Yeah, maybe. So I was talking to Rick before you came on, Scott, that we have seen a tiny spike in people, I'd say paying attention to us. The Amazon music has got a couple extra people than normal. It says that we possibly have had 12 people playing something in the last I don't know, month, which is pretty good. And I was telling him that on Apple Podcasts, which we only do audio, we have 9 people that have listened to our podcast from the last episode 4, which is it's actually not a record. We had 17 people watch or listen to the episode that was The Mandalorian, season 3, chapter 19, The Convert. We had 17 people watch us there, which is weird. Why would they watch that episode and then none of the other ones? But anyway, so there's a spike there. And then, of course, I didn't share the final numbers with him on YouTube yet, Scott. But this last episode, The Fallen Jedi, we had 32 people listen to us or watch it. And when I say views, I think it's at least 10 minutes of view is what they count as a view. So at least 10 minutes. So we had 32 people. The episode before that, we had 22. The second episode of Ahsoka, we had 31. And then the first one, we only had 4. But other episodes from before that, from The Mandalorian, have spiked a little bit too. They've gone up too. So we have a couple episodes now that are over 40 people have viewed them. So anyway, I was just kind of saying that we've kind of spiked a little bit in the last month or so, and I think it's partially because I'm using that other social network, the Blue Sky. Maybe because
are you getting paid by them?
No, maybe because the network's concentrated, more people are concentrated. There's not a huge flood of people like there's on Twitter. So I think that's probably why is it's easier to reach them because there's fewer of them. You know what I mean? So I do have some feedback.
I see.
Feedback at Kyle Johansson.
And this feedback is related to what I was talking about earlier that Scott missed as well, but he might have gotten a hint to it. We have a guy who on Twitter, what he does is, I mean, I would say there's probably at least 200 different podcasts about Star Wars that you can find on Twitter. And he goes through and listens to them all week long. And, posts up on Twitter that he's watching these guys. usually when he posts our podcast and stuff, I talked to him a little bit about it. He said this week that he says when you're listening, listen to the character's name when it's said. You're pronouncing a couple names incorrectly, and it's driving me bananas. His name ain't Hanoi, it's Huyang. Morgan Elisabeth isn't Elisabeth. So it's Elisabeth, and it's not Elisabeth. He says, my apologies if this sounds like I'm raising my voice. That's not my intent. Fun end listening to your show. He likes it when we discuss it at the end, I guess.
Hey, it's
listens to it. Doesn't see all us wonderful faces.
No,
Ah!
I don't know if he does video or not, but he's one of the guys that's watching us on Apple Podcasts.
It's a copyright issue. We can't, repeat everything 100%. Trademark issue.
There has to be mistakes.
Yeah, come on.
No, I can tell you why I say I'm wrong, and it's not necessarily on purpose. It's just because I have everybody pronounces my name wrong, so I have a thing with I try to pronounce it right, but I always end up doing it wrong.
Okay, Kale.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kaylee. I'm sorry. My apologies, Kaylee. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah, Kaylee.
Nobody can pronounce it right.
Kale.
Which is
Kale.
Which is funny too, because he usually spells out my name when he's writing to me. He usually spells it out Kaylee, Kaylee, and this time he spelled it correctly.
No way.
Because he wanted to judge me, but no, I like this guy though. He's pretty nice.
You like this guy, huh?
He listens to podcasts all day at work, basically, and they're all Star Wars.
Why don't you get him on?
He's shy. He's sending us feedback. He sent us. Remember that one we had an audio feedback a while back, Scott?
Yeah.
Same guy.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm not trying to be mean, but is he sitting in a dark room in his mom's basement? Does he never leave?
Could be.
Now, we can't say that. We can just laugh about it and move on.
Oh, okay, Rick. We
can't really say that because that's what Scott did when he was growing up too. So
we don't want Kaylee to lose his podcast. Come on now.
That's right. Those are going to take it away because I'm being too correct. So push the button again.
Take it away because he used everything.
Yeah. So again, you can send us feedback through all the ways. Feedback at kylejohansson.us is one. You can go to our website. When we say go to the left side of the page, there's a link over there that says feedback, and it'll take you to a form, and you can fill that out. Unfortunately, unlike the email address, that one doesn't let you attach any video or audio. We're also on Twitter at super_duper_pod. We're on the blue. Yeah, that's yeah. That's because we had other podcasts, and that's the name's always been the same. On Twitter. I'm not going to say X. It's Twitter. So
I got you to say X.
On Blue Sky, we're at Rebel Alliance Briefing Room, all one word. And of course, we have a YouTube channel where we upload these videos, and we'd like you to put as many comments as you'd like up there. Anything else, you guys?
Do we have to be up do we all have to be up if we ever get that British guy on and the other guy back?
I don't know.
We have to be up during overnight because I could do that. I could come to your house and we could do that. That'd totally be cool. Are you drinking Red Bull?
No. I told you
You
you'd
drink
ask, didn't I?
Drink one of Kyle's things. Yeah, 365 milligrams, 325.
What is it?
It's
Show
called
it again, Kyle.
it's called Spike, and it's
You awake?
Sugar-free?
You okay? You won't go to sleep, I promise.
it's blue raspberry flavor,
You just
and up
crash.
and up there,
No
up
sugar.
there, 350
sugar.
milligrams, no sugar.
No
350 milligrams of caffeine though.
Damn. Why don't you just go back? Why don't you just go back and buy some Jolt?
So this is
Buy
one
you
of
some
the
Jolt
this
and take some of those.
Jolt's not as good as this. This is one of the highest concentrations of caffeine that you can find in any energy drink. If you go to Casey's and buy it, they ask for your driver's license because you're not old enough to drink that much caffeine. That's just a Casey's rule. It's not a federal law or anything, but they card you because they think, oh my gosh, are you old enough?
Get on the internet?
I get it. I'm getting it from Amazon, but you can go to Casey's and buy this stuff.
Is it cheaper through Amazon?
Not necessarily.
How much is it per case?
I don't know. It's like $30 for 12. It's not cheap, but those things aren't cheap in the store either.
How much liquid? 16?
Oh my gosh, he's gonna get them. 16 right there. He's gonna start ordering them now.
Well, I get my stuff through Amway.
Disclaimer: this is no representation of any, trying to promote any merchandise.
Oh my God! Why are you so PC?
Disclaimer: because I want to. Kaylee
this
can't.
Is a free market society.
Kaylee can't lose his podcast.
I can barely afford to pay the 16 cents a month that it costs to run this thing. Come on.
Shut up. I'll send you pennies. Hey, I'll put pennies on your driveway. I'll drive by tonight.
You're the one that needs to shut up, Mr. Johnson County, on your shirt.
With my truck.
Wait until next week. He's gonna have a hat. He's gonna have a T-shirt that has it.
Can't help that I gotta go to work or just got home from work.
We'll have real sponsors then.
That's what I was looking for. We're not promoting sponsorship.
Yeah. So
it says
mine is mine. Oh, I just left. Where'd I go? There you go.
Is that a hunter?
No, it's the Navy SEAL patch for let's see, what is it? I can't think of what it's called. I'll have to look it up really quick and tell you because I don't remember.
Special forces or something.
Yeah, well, it's not King Neptune or whatever, but not Jones or whatever, but it's a SEAL team patch.
Cool.
And a operator hat. It's a Oakley.
Oh, I like that.
Another shameless print.
Is it fitted? Oh yeah, it's fitted. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's become my favorite kind of go-to hat wearing around. So
cool.
Nice and comfortable. And he's got hair though, so most people put hats on all the time because they don't have hair, but he's got hair.
Just a little bit.
He's been using the dome armor a little too much. That's what it is.
He's faded the sides. Is it faded?
He spilt the whole jar on him.
Yeah, it worked really well.
That's wicked. What do your students think about that?
Oh, I wear it pulled back or I don't wear it pulled back. I wear it slicked back. So I just keep it slicked back.
You can't wear hats in school.
No, I just wear it with gel.
Gel?
I just gel it back just like this. So it's not quite long enough, to do much with it. So I just have to kind of keep it gelled back. So just enough to hold it in place during the day. And by the end of the day, it's kind of worn loose and kind of flopping. Yep.
I got the mohawk going.
Yeah. I had some ginger ale too.
Oh,
Ginger ale.
mixed.
I hate ginger ale.
You had a mixed drink.
Yeah.
No one
And
told me
ginger ale's sugar free too. Well, I drank it before I got on the thing. Ginger ale's sugar free too.
It's because you had to stay hydrated.
We're gonna have to come up. We're gonna have to come up with the 16 cents this month.
No, don't worry about it.
Send it to him in the mail.
Yeah. Contact me on Twitter and I'll send you the address.
I'll leave 50 cents on your doorstep. How's that?
No thanks.
You can Venmo it.
Venmo it. Yeah, I don't have any of that crap on my phone.
Yeah, me either. I
Shit.
still believe in cash, but you know.
Oh, I haven't had cash in my hand for probably 3-4 years.
Wow, no. I actually had a place refuse to take cash here like about a month ago.
Yeah. They say I had a place here in Independence say it was. Actually, it's at the city building when I was trying to pay my electric bill. Oh no, it's dirty. We can't take it. I'm like, well, so's your ass, but this is what I have.
Well, and I forgot last week at the game at Arrowhead, they're cashless only too, and I didn't take my wallet with me.
No way.
Yeah. So it's credit card or debit card only there.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, that sucks.
Oh yeah. So how's your pucker?
How's my what?
How's your pucker from being at the game?
It's all right. It was just it was a game. It didn't matter. They're gonna be all right.
They better wake up. I mean, it's first game. I understand that, but
they're fine. They're fine.
They were always looking to run before they could catch the ball.
Yeah, they're fine.
That's what number one did.
We'll talk about it after this is over. They're fine. They're good.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I stepped away for a
second.
second.
We got Mr. Kyle, who's a Broncos fan.
Go get rid of some of that drink that he had.
Well, yeah, I had too much to drink. 16 ounces plus 7.5 ounces on this one.
Oh my God!
Did you have to shake a little faster than you thought?
Yep, I did.
Did you have a little fun?
Good thing
can't shake more than 3 times, right?
Good thing I can't only show from
the time you're playing with it. You can edit all this.
All right. No, it's not. It's all going in. So, saying that, let's end this so we can stop the recording. How about that?
Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts.
Are you dialing the number?
By connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansson.us. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott, and in no way express the views or opinions of their past, present, views and opinions are not
I'll get to it eventually.
or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited.
Don't Do it.
I am Kyle John Hansen, and this
Me.
is Andrew Scott Sutton.
He's over
Say
there.
goodbye
One of
now.
those. It's in one of those cubes, and then there's Rick up over in that cube somewhere. One of those cubes. So that's us. Have a good week. We'll meet back here same time next week. Goodbye.